Yeah, hi guys, good morning to everyone. I hope all of you could able to hear me, right? Santosh, Ranjit. Yes, yeah. I think let's get started. Yeah. So others would join. Hi Ali. You can hear me, right?
Hi, Nasimha. Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning, good evening, Ali. Yeah, so let's continue. Yeah. So as we all know that we talked about different features supported in data integration and and application integration. Yeah. And apart from that, we have also talked about how to monitor the activities within the data integration and also in app integration. So in data integration, we use monitoring service or my jobs in order to monitor tasks, task flows, and mappings and any asset a manipulation that we do, right? Similarly, in the context of application integration, we can monitor applications, service connectors, process flows, and within this, or by using application integration console. Remember that. Yeah. So these are the two monitoring services that we have within this what app integration. So that part we know. But now the question: how are we going to control either application integration or data integration through some other means? Do we have any provision to get it done? Answer is yes. That's where we need to start getting into another service which we call administrator service. Yeah? So, so administrator service is going to help us in order to define the global properties, and those properties can be used either in app integration or in data integration. We have some more services where we can use global properties because we talked about only these two microservices. That's why I'm trying to talk about administrator in that particular context. We have some other services. Anyway, we'll get there later. So now let me try to log in and see what are the global activities that one can perform by using administrator service. After that, I would also talk about debugging techniques that we can use, one, to troubleshoot agent, and second, to troubleshoot what I call mappings, task flows, and applications and process flows. We will talk about one by one. Yeah, that's about debugging part. Once we are done with that, we will start getting into performance tuning techniques where we can understand bottlenecks, like where we could foresee the issues. And once you identify the bottlenecks, then the next step is what? What are the tunables that are supported by Informatica Cloud, and try to apply those tunables and see the effect of the tuning techniques. Yeah. But in this, we have our what we call very low end environment. We cannot see the effect of those tunables, but we can see the effect of those tunables when we get into what high end systems. Remember, guys? So that's it. Yeah. So now let us try to get into understanding administrator activities. Yeah. So the first and foremost thing, I hope all of you could able to see administrator service, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. So yeah. Now let me talk about the first and foremost thing, which is what organization. Remember, guys, we can control the capabilities supported by either data integration or application integration at organization level, which means for every organization you will have restrictions. For example, this is an organization which will be identified by using what? Org ID or organization ID. So this we supply at the time of registration. It will generate what? Random number. We register, right? As part of registration, we supply the inputs, right? Username, mail ID, whatever. Right? Now, the next question: in case if you have any limited capability that are required for building any customer requirement, then we can get into what? Building new sub-organization. Then we can have limited capabilities compared with what? Organization level. Remember, yeah? So now we can supply any suborg name, and then we can supply other details as well, followed by authentication details, and then followed by connection details, like do we have access to Informatica Cloud or local secure agent, then followed by data integration service, where we can specify the time zone and default email notification. This is what I was trying to talk earlier, guys. At global level, if you want to send an email in case of either failure, success, or warning, you can just supply the list of recipient addresses. Remember, guys. So that's it. If you define it. So now, once you define it, then we can just get it saved. Then whatever what you call features that we can restrict here, only those features will be made available to the relevant what you call service. Yeah, that's the first thing. And the next thing is what we need to start getting into licensing restrictions, yeah, at org level and sub org level. So this ID we've already seen it. This is a tail version which is registered from this location. Let's say, yeah. Now the next question: if you look at this licensing features, can you see here on the right side, API Manager, API Portal, and other features we can see. Total there are put together 89. Yes or no? So 18 features are available for what? Trail version. Yeah, which includes app integration console, whatever, right? So we can see many more features in the bottom. Yeah. So some of them we discussed because our primary focus point is towards what? One, data integration. Second, what? App integration. In that context, we talked about whatever is required to learn. Yeah. Now the question: in case if you bought a license for pre-built connectors, like for example, Workday or Salesforce or some other connectors, so those connector names can also be seen, and start date when we purchased the license, and also expiry date when it will get over. Yeah. So it's purely works on what? Subscription model, guys. So Informatica Cloud works purely based on what? Subscription model. If you subscribe, you can use it. If not, we can't use it. Yeah. Now the next question. So we can start getting into what single sign-on also by using what? Security assertion markup language. In short, We call it as what? SAML. Remember. For example, now what we did was we could able to log in by using what? Appropriate authentication details supported by Informatica Cloud. Now let us say customer does not want to use what authentication or internal authentication supported by Informatica Cloud. In that case, what we could do here is we can start making use of appropriate identity provider, meaning you will have third party provider file. For example, if you have any LDAP authentication or authorization file in the form of XML, we can just get it imported and start availing what we call authentication that we have within this LDAP. Remember that. So apply.
Yes. Uh,
Yes,
One
please.
question. In case of application services or DI, data integration services down, we can handle here, right? In admin, right?
Yes. So to do that, we need to go to runtime environment. I'll come to that. Yes, that's answered
Okay.
the question. Yeah. Oh, this is done now. One second. Oh, it is down. Let me restart this service. Yes, we can just particular handle that agent. One from what admin level. Second, we can also do it at operating system level. For example, now we are trying to do it at what? OS level. Uh, Bharat. So now let us say you don't have access to this operating system, but you have access to what? Administrative service. You can also do it from there, like restarting part. Yeah,
Okay.
fine. So now let it come up anyway. So which means authentication part and authorization part with respect to what? Organization. Remember, organization means all the descendants, like we have got services, right? Like data integration service, app integration service, monitor service, and API manager, API, whatever. We have multiple microservices. All of them will be under the control of what? Organization. Remember. So, which means whatever authentication that we use, right, it will be applicable for all the microservices which are underneath of org, which is organization, right? So that's it. This is what we can supply over here. Yeah. So now the next question, metering, meaning what? How many jobs per day? Whatever. Specific level or licensing that we could able to see over here. Yeah. So that's where metering part would come in. Yeah. So no data to display because our agent is not ready, right? Once it comes up, we could able to see all the services and corresponding features like number of mappings per day, number of jobs per day, number of tasks per day, number of task flows per hour or per day, whatever, right? You will have limitations like how many rows that we can done per day. So all such limitations can be seen as part of this license. So based on the license that you bought, then you will have proportionate access level. Remember that. Fine. Now the next question, if you want to roll back whatever activity that you have done, that we could control by using what? Global settings. One, version control. If you want to have it, we can enable it. Yeah. Provider need to have access to that. And second, roll up operations like upgrading part. That also can be done over here. So, and we can see in the bottom also like auto restart, whatever, right? So, which means we could able to take care of mainly roll up with respect to upgrade and second version control. So these things also we could take care over here by editing here. Can you see here? Edit and edit here. Yeah. Once you are done with the edit, right, you can just get it saved. This is version control will be enabled. Then starts applying which platform that we are going to use. Is it a cloud or local agent? And select appropriate security type. So are we going to use GitHub or some other repository, DevOps or whatever, right? So we can just make use of it, right? So that's it. Then once we are done with that, now the next question: can we add users or groups or roles and assign relevant privileges like user to a group, user to a role, a group to a role, or whatever? Such things we do it by using what users, user groups, and user roles. Yeah. So let it come up. Once it comes up, right, we can start adding what our own user. Let us see whether it works or not. So I'm just applying some username. So let's say an email ID. So we can also see phone number is some number. We can also see here native authentication, guys. Yeah. So or Salesforce or IDP with SAML. I think SAML we talked about, right? So that's it. So by default, you have native authentication. We can supply here any username. Then once you supply, we can also what enable what all we can access. Example, data integration, sorry, administrator, then followed by whatever need to be restricted for this particular user. Yeah. That's a data integration, viewer, service consumer, monitor, and designer. Example, creating assets, right? Using mapping designer. Yeah. So that's it. App integration, let's say we are not giving it. Then save it. Yeah. So this way we could able to create the user at admin level. See, new user appears here. This was a user that has been used as part of what registration, right? Next question, groups. So remember, guys, we can have n number of groups, dev group or testing group, whatever. Let's say we are going to add a group which is dev grp. Then what all or who all could be part of this particular dev group? Let us say we have admin, yeah? And second, let's say we have data integration, task execute, whatever. Likewise, you can add any role that we can see in the drop down, right? So data steward or data preview. Yeah, this data steward normally we use it for MDM for quality data governance operations. But yes, if you want it, we can just enable that. And designer, yeah, this is required for data integration and so on. Yeah. After that, we can just get it saved. Now we have just created what you call roles for this group. Now we can also add group members, which means who are all the users part of this particular dev group. So click on add users. Let's say we are trying to add both of them as part of what dev group. That's it, guys. We assign one role group to appropriate role like admin, whatever. And we've also added the number of users who are part of dev group or who will be part of dev group and get it saved. Yeah. So that's it. Now we can also get into what we call
So,
roles. Yes, please.
yeah, Narasimha, actually, in the real-time scenario, administrator will do this job, right? Or
Yes, yes, yes. You are
so
right. Yeah,
just for
normally,
our understanding, we have to.
yes. Not only understanding, Ali, what happens is sometimes you also might play role of administrator. For example, if you take small organization, right, where they may
Okay,
not hire separate person for administrator. In that case, develop, you have to play the role of administrator, data steward, developer, all. In such cases, if you know this, you could able to handle it quite easily. Ali? Yes,
got
for medium-sized or large organizations, right? Yes, they'll have separate team who are part of administrator. Ali? In that case, you are
yeah,
right. Yeah,
makes clear.
yeah. So
Thank
now, so now we can see n number of roles over here, like admin role or whatever, right? I think we have already assigned group to what appropriate rules. Now the question: if you want to have our own role with our own specific privileges in terms of a create, manage, consume or whatever, right? Merge or whatever, right? So that also we could take care by adding what our own role. Now I clicked on add role and supply, let's say dev role example, right? Now we all could able to see create, read, update, delete, run, and set permission, right? And we can also see features. For example, asset check-in, check-out, asset export, import, whatever, right? We can supply whatever features that you want to enable over here or bundle create bundle. This is a resource bundle for internationalization for other languages. Yeah. So and then configuring source control. Then let's say subarg also subarg create whatever, right? I think we created one, right? So that's it. These are the multiple what you call features who are part of which is part of role for this robotic role. Now asset level. So we know some of the assets that we discussed. Example, let's say project. Let's say where we are going to provide all like create, read, update, delete. Similarly, role. If you want, we are in role anyway. Then we can also take care of connection part. Yeah, like adding a connection, modify connection, delete a connection, whatever, and run that. Yeah. Then we can also see folder part, project we discussed, similar folder, addition, deletion, all that. And then this role, adding a group on that, and then org level also. Normally, so if you want to create, we can create it, but normally one will have organization access. Yeah. Then we can also see agent level permissions, and then agent group also, where you have n number of agents belongs to one particular group, and then user creation, all that. Yeah, scheduling jobs. Yeah, likewise, we can just what do you call supply appropriate assets who are part of this particular role. That's it. Now, if you want to change existing group who can be part of newly added role, we can just go back to user group and click on either this or on the right side you can see ellipsis button, either rename or whatever. Yeah. So then click on this and add our newly added role. One second. So what's the name we give? So dev group, right? Yes, sir. Substitution time. So this part we have already taken care. Actually, you can assign here. Let's go to sorry user level. Yeah. So these are the users we have, and take this user and then go down. Yeah. Can you see now the group has come in? Earlier we did not see this group, right? Now we could able to see it. Yes. Can you see, guys? Our role has come in here, dev role. So this way, now we are trying to assign this particular group to this role. Which role? Dev role. Yeah. So this way, administrator can add n number of groups and assign to a relevant role, which is dev role. Within this dev group, we added new separate two users, right? That we have done it already. Yeah. So that's it, which means we can add a user, add a group, add a role, and assign user to a group and group to a role. I think we have done it practically. That's it. Yeah. So, so that's it about these three features within administrator. Now the question, let's go to runtime environment where we all know that with this particular interface, we can download secure agent, get it installed. We have done it. And in case we have forgotten this token, right, we can click on this generate install token so that we can get back this particular what token. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So now let us start getting into what we call group level configuration. Can you see here? Now I selected one group where we can see edit environment properties. So I didn't talk about it. Look at here, guys. Here we just give the name. So that's the default name we are using. And second, enable or disable services. So I think this part I think we have discussed. So we got n number of services offered by IICS, where we can see process server, common integration components, data collector, data integration service server. We are using this to perform DIS operations. Then we can also see add and remove agents under this particular group because now we have got only one. That's why we can see only one. If you have multiple agents associated to this particular group, we can enable or disable or add or delete or order or activate or inactivate. That we can do it over here. Yeah. And then we have what we call if you want to delete, we can also delete it and share secure agent group. So this is a good one. In case if you share it, right? So anybody can access this. Yeah. Then we have can take it back. Then we can also see if this particular group has got any dependencies. Let's say multiple agent groups. Let's say this agent group has got dependencies with others. Yeah. So we can see here. For example, used by. So we create multiple connections, right? So any deletion that you do here or any modification that you do, right? All of these assets will have the impact. So we can see here what mapping tasks and also connections, whatever activity that we have done, right? So all of them will have what impact. Yeah. So this is other way it's not there, which means this particular uh, agent group does not have any what you call dependency with other agent group, but this agent or group will be used by multiple assets and corresponding status, all that can be seen. That's why before we perform any deletion, right, we need to make sure that where and all it is going to get impacted. Yeah. So that's the main thing, guys. And then, so let's go back and look at what other features and permissions. So we can see like what are the permissions we have for this particular agent level and also group level. Can you see here? If you want to add, so we can also supply this user, what you call, will have access to this. and we can also add groups also, like whatever group that we have. We added only one, right? So we could able to see new permission was added to you, right? So now we can supply here, read, update, delete, execute, whatever permission that we have, right? So you can just select and then save it. Yeah. So here also you can select appropriate user and save it, which means permissions can also be given at what group level, like who are all the users and groups can access this particular set of agents group, right? So set of agents means secure agent group. Yeah. Now agent level properties, guys. Like in admin in a local power center or data quality, right? You guys would have seen admin console, right? Or administrator client, where you'll have user group role part is same as what we discussed. You'll also have global properties. So that we are going to see. For example, info shared, where we have seen multiple what you call OS profile properties, right? Like a root, cache, temp, source file date, target file date. Similarly, in agent level, we could able to see such kind of properties. Along with that, some more. Yeah. Let us say we are focusing on data integration server. Yeah. So now we can specify. Let us say we are going to focus on what DTM. So DTM specific properties only can be seen here. Then we can supply DTM properties here. Yeah. Like for example, JVM options. These are all options that are required for uh, troubleshooting and also tuning, guys. Yeah. So then service name, this can be used in order to run our data integration task from command line. Plus, we can able to see user namespace, all that, right? These are default names. If you want to change it, we can also change it. Yeah. Then we have yeah, data moment by default it uses what Unicode. Yeah. So if you want to change, you can change it. Yeah. This is what I was trying to talk some time ago. Can you see here? So lookup directory, session log directory, bad file directory, cache directory, all that. Yeah. And storage directory, target file date, and source file date, and PM execute process directory, or whatever. All that can be seen over here. Same as Informatica Power Center data quality in local environment. Yeah. So plus we could able to see some more properties. Proxy, guys. Remember, we just talked about like how to protect agent by using what firewall, right? On top of that, if you want to have second level of restriction, then we can go to proxy and start getting it edited. Yeah, I'll talk about it when I talk about agent or OS side. Yeah, so just remember that. So now we just apply the path to that file. This can be used as FDC, which is Salesforce, or we can also use it for protecting agent also. These are the pre-built global properties. So the question, if you want to add your own property, for example, for data integration server, and select, let us say, DTM, then add, let's say, XMX. Yeah. So we use it for Java virtual machine, and then supply 256 megabytes. So which means you will have minimum size of a heap. If you say XMS, which is minimum size of a heap, which is 256 megabytes, and maximum usually you'll have three times. Nowadays we are using 64-bit platforms, right? So we can go up to what 2 GB, which is a maximum. Yes or no? 2 GB means 2048 megabytes. After that, we can just get it saved. Yeah. So likewise, we can also add our own custom properties at agent level. which means once you supply at agent level, right? When you try to run, these properties can be used. Remember that. Clear, guys? So this is exactly similar to local environment. There's nothing different from that. Only interface is different, but the concept is same as what we do in the local environment. Clear, guys? Yes or no? That's it. Similarly, same concept holds good even for others for IDQ or IDQ address validation, which is a Colibra data quality or cloud data quality, or we can also have restrictions at platform level, so which will be used for even other services as well. Here also we can see, so Informatica Cloud Manager script memory, where we can see again JVM settings, and then we can also see, or we can also have settings specific to what Tomcat. We all know that we will be using Tomcat as what application server in order to perform delegation of requests from client to what underlying server. So this guy will act as a mediator or delegator between the client and underlying services. Remember that. Yeah. So yeah. Similarly, each type level, if you want to configure, we can do it, or we can select all types and start getting it added whatever properties that we have. That's it. After that, you can just save it. Yeah. So which means any addition or modification that you do, we are going to have impact lot. Remember, that is why administrator job is going to be the responsible job. That is why it is not, we don't need much skills, but so we need to make sure that before we perform addition, especially modification, wherever you have referred that particular property, right? So that's where you will have impact. That's why we should always carry out impact analysis before we make any change. Yeah. So now the next question, connections, global connections, right? So we can also add our own connections from at global level also. Yeah. So so I think we have done one example from here, and other examples we have done it at data integration level. Yes or no? And also app integration level. I think we know how to add a new connection. We have already done it. Like click on new connection, select any type, and start supplying the inputs, so that if everything is fine with respect to inputs, then connection will be added successfully. Like Salesforce, whatever, right? I think we have done this earlier, right? So that's it. Now look at here. See, by default, you will have some connectors, or pre-built connectors. Now the question, if you want to have, let's say, integration with a Python or Jupyter, or let us say IBM MQ connector for messaging, right? Or some other Salesforce related connectors. You can also search in the right top. You can see search text box, right? This one I've just added it. Likewise, you can also add Salesforce Workday, Salesforce Commerce Cloud Connector, or whatever, right? These are Salesforce related connectors. If you just take out this, then all the connectors can be seen as per if you try to scroll down to the bottom. So we can also see what Snowflake Cloud also, which means you can also write data to Snowflake Cloud, and we can also read data from Snowflake Cloud. Once you install it, right, then we can start performing what I call operations from IICS with what? Snowflake. But for that, we have to have basic understanding on Snowflake, like how it works. Remember, right? Then the next question, in case if you want to define global schedule, which can be referred by any service, we can also supply here. That's a new schedule, which is test schedule example at global level. Right? Here you can define periodicity which is repetition part, hourly, minute, or whatever, right? Or weekly. You can just specify this. So all, let's say, working days and also holidays. Repeat indefinitely. End time, all that you can specify. Weekly job. At this particular, if you want to specify end date and time, you can specify, or else repeat indefinitely. So repeat end date and time also you can specify. Once you are done with that, then you can just get it saved. Can you see here? Before start date. Yeah. So that should not happen, right? So then we can change the date. Yeah. So which means we can define this global schedule over here. Once we are done with that, we can just, I think, when we executed mapping tasks or any task, right? At the end, we can see on demand or schedule, right? That's where we can just refer this. Yeah. And add-on bundles, I think I talked about it for other languages, right? So whatever, French or German, whatever, right? We can just install those bundles. Now, Swagger part, I think we talked about it earlier, like how one can represent REST API specification within IICS by using what? Swagger. How to configure Swagger? I think we talked about it by referring what are the portal application. Yes or no? So that's it. And logging part, this will be used for tracking one, assets, and second, security. Both. Security means user level, group level, and role level. You can see, right? So, like for example, we have added one user, which is Nara, and then role also we have added, which is a dev role. Group also we added dev group, right? So, whatever security related activities that you perform, all of them will be tracked over here. Remember, right? So likewise, you can see rest. Now the next question, asset logs. So we have got different types of assets, right? I think we talked about activities under assets, like example, task level assets or mapping level assets, whatever. All that can be seen here. So you can also click on next and look at what they call assets. Yeah, fine. Whatever activity that you do, right, either update or create or delete, right, all that can be seen over here. Clear, guys? So that's it about admin stuff.
That's
Yeah.
one question I have. I'm getting this either missing source and excuse me, product configuration either while creating the. Can I share my screen?
Yes, yes.
2 minutes only. Visible my screen.
Yes, it's coming up.
This
Alright.
is the error I'm getting. Missing source and product configuration.
Oh, this is one registration, huh?
Hmm? Yes, yes.
One second. Yeah, can you please come down? Yeah, scroll down.
Scroll down, eh?
Yeah. I can't see the bottom. Yeah. One second. Oh,
What happened? Because it's the same process you people did it, but I don't know why I am getting this error.
so you need to change this source means is email ID. You need to change some other email ID.
Mhm. Okay, why it is not taking as a valid email ID?
No, you would have registered for some other purpose earlier. So we should not reuse the same thing. Oh, correct.
Not getting means this is the first time I'm using this email ID for registration.
But it's referring, it's already, this
Oh,
source
this
is already.
okay. Some
One
other
second.
email ID they are referring, huh?
One second. Can you please go back, go up?
Maybe your old email ID have this backup email ID.
Hmm. Right.
Correct, correct. Okay,
Yeah. So
Fine.
backup, you
You can
remove it,
just
then you
yeah,
accept it.
yeah. Yes. You can
okay,
just try
fine.
with some other melody. We
Okay,
still
I
have
will try.
problem. Put it offline. Bharat, is it fine?
Hmm. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Fine. So
Thanks.
now, fine. Yes. So I think you can see my desktop, right? No. I think it's visible, right? My screen? No.
It's visible, but is it not
Hmm.
your window?
One sec. Let me stop and start.
Yeah.
Fine. I think now it will come up. Yeah. That's okay, right? So that's it about what I call admin activities, guys. Now let us talk about what you call backend side. In the sense, server side, what all could be done over here, right? So that's a question mark here, right? The first thing, we have just installed only one utility, which is secure agent. So we need to get into that location. This is where we install secure agent, right? In that, we are trying to focus primarily on what? Data integration server. Now look at here, guys. For data integration server, if you want to extend functionality, so we have to have JDK, especially Java related stuff. We need to make sure that we have got appropriate JDK. Yeah, that anyway comes when you try to install secure agent. That's the first thing. It's a global level. Global level drivers also. Yeah. Now let us focus on specific to our activities that we performed. Example, data integration server, where we can see data. Remember, guys, this is going to be the what you call root, we can say, or info shed that you guys would have seen in Power Center or whatever, right? So here we can use same data folder for both source and target. Like in admin we saw, right? Admin properties in runtime environment. If you just select this, so it is same, right? Source file directory and target file directory. Yeah. I think we have already seen that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Can you see here? So target file directory is equal to root directory and source also root directory. Yeah. So this is going to be the source and target. And then we can also see cache, error, logs, parameters, stage, all that. Yeah. This is similar to local environment. One extra thing here is user parameters. We can add our own user parameters here. So I think we have done example, right? Like how to add a parameter file under that, how to add parameters and use that parent file and corresponding parameters within any specific task. Yeah. So that's where this particular what do you call agent level, which is OS level, would come in, right? Now the next question. Let us say, so we need to start what you call getting into drivers, ext drivers. Like we talked about connector, right? MySQL connector. I think we perform like how to read data from MySQL, right? Before that, we need to configure one. We need to download and place this in this location, and then configure connection properties for MySQL database. After that, we could able to get it configured successfully. So this also we talked about it. Yeah. Now the next question. Let's go to what logs. Can you see, guys, here? These are the logs where we have seen. First thing is what? Metadata logs. Look at here. If I just try to open this, this is what I call meta log. For example, we configured source, T database, then target definition, source definition, target definition, then importing this particular session configuration, then followed by source and target validating, mapping is also validating, mapping corresponding transformations, and workflow, which is complete task flow. That's it. So in case if you have any problems, right, then we could able to see here instead of success, we'll have what appropriate failure message. Yeah. So that is the first thing. And next is what we can also see what I call term catalogs. Same thing will be repeated for others. And next thing is what we can see what session log or mapping task log, right? This is where we can see in OS level or agent level, initializing session, repository name. This is similar to session log that we all know. So whatever can be seen in the front end after download, right? Same thing can be seen in the agent level. If you want to automate, so we need to get into this appropriate session log and start getting it automated. Yeah. So session log and meta log, we have seen it. Plus Tomcat log. Remember, guys, we all know architecture, right? Like how secure agent or Informatica cloud architecture is going to work. So everything like what we do, Informatica cloud, all of them would take place through what Tomcat or app server. So that's where we can see the log over here. Yeah. So this is going to be the Tomcat log. Now we can just go to the bottom and see what are the new activities that we perform. Just now we configured DTM related global properties, right? So likewise, whatever activity that we do, right, all of them will be delegated through what we call this particular Tomcat. Now the question, when you try to execute any what you call task or task or whatever, right? It happens through what you call DTM. So now let me try to show one of the example like how execution would take place. Can you see guys here? This guy is using what a command line utility which we call PMDTM, which is Power Mart Data Transformation Manager with RDTM option, then followed by look at here this path, right? PM RDTM config. Yeah. So we can go to this particular location and see what does it contain. Yeah. Oh, the space problem, right? So IICS, let's go there manually. Yeah, we can go there anyway. So that's where we can see. Yeah, let's go there. Data integration server 67, right? Apps, data integration server. Then we can see what 67, first one, right? Then ICS. So then we can see main bin RDTM, right? Main bin RDTM. Now we are here. So within that, we are trying to look at what PM RDTM config file, right? So you can search here the name. Yeah. So what's the name we are using the log? It is using PM RDTM config, right? So let us search for it. Oh, where did you go? Hey, where did we do that? Here, right? Yes. Yeah. So we got config file, right? We can just open this. See? It contains all the JVM options like what we have seen agent level properties, right? And repository name. And then if you want to add the back, what's our operating system side, you can also do it, guys. Can you see here these properties we've already seen agent level. So which means these are the things where we can also change even from what OS level also. So proxy dot INI, all that we have seen, even in what agent level uh, what you call properties, right? So that's it. That's the one config file. Now let's go to next one. Port, right? Remember, guys, whenever you run, right, we are using agent, right? It should be listening some port number. There's a default port number. If there is a conflict, no, we can change that. Next, can you see meta? See, whenever you want to run any task or whatever, right, it should refer what? Metadata. So this is where the control will go to this particular metadata location. Let's get in there. So copy paste. Now can you see here all meta files, which are XML files, can be seen over here. So now let me open that. Can you see, guys? This is a meta file. This is XML file, like source, target, all that we could able to see here. Similar to local environment. There's nothing different from that. Yeah. Once you get because complete task or mapping information, you'll have it in the metadata. So it pulls this metadata from what? Cloud repository, Informatica cloud repository, and place it onto what? Local repository, which means what? It is not mandated that we need to depend on what Informatica cloud repository. You'll not have access, right? So this is where you will have control. In the sense, the local environment also, you will have what? Meta, complete meta. Yeah. So you can also handle it here with respect to what? Meta manipulation. I would have said it the beginning stages, right? So that's it about meta stuff. Yeah. So fine. So now we know meta configuration. Let me just open this. Yeah. Where is the Tomcat? Yeah. Now the next thing is what? Under that we are referring metadata, then followed by task. This is session task, right? Can you see? Mapping task type. So now we can go to this particular param file. By default, you'll have what? Pre-built parameters. That also I think I talked about it earlier. Can you see parameters? Whatever operation that you're doing, right? You'll have pre-built parameters, yeah? Like workflow for this particular task, and then session log file, all that, right? So this where we can see our session logs. Yeah? Then if you want to add, we can add it, but it's not advisable because it's a system generated what I call param file. Custom param file, we'll do that. Yeah. So that's one thing. And then let's go back to this again. And then import log. Can you see? I think that we have seen it. Log file, right? So that's it. Which means these are the inputs that will be supplied for what? PM or DTM. This is a command that will be executed when you execute any task or task log. Guys, remember, we can also execute it from the command line. This way we can just automate. Like PM CMD, you guys would have seen it in the local environment, right? Same as here. Like Infa CMD for data quality, we use it. Same over here. That's it, guys, about this agent side details. Yeah. Fine. Any questions, guys, from anybody? So I need to switch to some other session. So if you have any questions, you can shoot out, or else we'll stop it. So I'll talk about some more things on tomorrow's session. Fine.
And Narasimha, how many sessions are left now?
Yeah. So that's all for today, guys. Yeah. Thanks to all, and bye.
Narasimha?